All right, y'all. Welcome to our reading party. This is a collaboration with Karma Comes Before the magazine and Moon Cola Zine. I am so excited to have y'all here today. I have been dreaming about this event literally since, I've been inspired by this magazine since I started mine. And so I'm so excited that I got to collaborate with some of the incredible writers and some of their issues. So a quick background on KCB. We started off as a mag. I don't know if you remember, but it was KCB the mag. I thought it sounded super cool. But as I'm working like basically 8 hours a day on it, I was like, oh no, this is not a mag. This is a magazine. Like this is a full-blown magazine. So now it's Karma Comes Before the magazine. And now in building this like community event with you guys, I'm like, no, it's Karma Comes Before the community. So this is becoming bigger and bigger but I'm letting God do it. You know what I mean? I'm letting God take it away. Somehow everything falls into line when it comes to this magazine. And this is one of those things. So truly thank you all for being here. So I am the editor-in-chief of the magazine Karma Comes Before. Basically, I'm the one you talk to when you are submitting your work. I'm the one who accepts or rejects it. I'm the one who designs the pieces in the magazine. I curate it, I publish it, I promote it, I do it all for you. All for you. Okay, so that's that. I am hiring. So let me just plug that in there real quick. We're hiring some fellows. So we will work on one-on-one projects because a fellowship is basically you work on a project until completion. It will be, set up with all kinds of logistics and analytics at the end, but I'm looking for an SEO fellow, so search engine optimization, an editorial fellow, so if you like poetry and you want to review some of the submissions, and then I'm also looking for a social media fellow because we got to get on TikTok. And I am not TikTok savvy. I am not one of those people. So yeah. All right. At this time, I'm going to start introducing our presenters. You're welcome to go get yourself a little drinky drink or whatever you want to do, because I am going to do a toast before we get started with the readings. Okay. You can also just throw up a peace sign. You don't have to have anything. But yeah. So starting with Jane Lorray. Pronouns are she, they. Jane is obsessed with dragons and has 5 tattoos of different kinds. Yes. Oh, oh, they're huge. Wow. And in your back. Okay. Wow. Yes. All right. They will be reading a poem from issue 0. Oh, and we got a cup. I'm crying. Yes. But they will be reading a poem from issue 0, Genesis. Then we have Megan Mary Moore. Unfortunately, she couldn't have her background, but that's okay. She is an editor of Moon Cola Zine. Okay, so she is probably the person you're talking to when you're submitting to them, which is super, super cool. Megan, in her free time, loves to refurbish doll houses, and she currently has 2 collections of poetry out. They are Dwellers and To Daughter a Devil. So you can find those wherever books are sold. Next up, we have my longtime friend and confidant, Neil Jaiko. He's going to read his piece from issue 0, Genesis as well. And his fun fact is that he's been to the ER 23 times at the tender age of 30. So first of all, let's see if he's there now. Neil, where are you? Are you okay? Everything okay, Neil? You're good? Okay. All right. And then after that, we have Emily.
It's working for the most part. I think I made it here all right,
Okay, as long as you're with us. We just hope you're okay. But next up, we have Emily Joy Uman. She actually, this is super cool. She has a poem in the form of a Spotify playlist. So one day I'm gonna have her read that to us. But today she is gonna read a piece from Hot Girl Summer Bummer. Wow, I cannot say that. Hot Girl Summer Bummer from Moon Cola Zine. And then after that, we have Nathaniel Vera. If you could wave, there he is. That's my longtime friend and soul brother. And he will actually be reading 2 poems. So one in the Finding Joy issue of KCB the magazine, and then another one, which is an extension to that first already beautiful poem. So super excited for that. After that, from issue 2, Dreams, we have John Gray. John, can you say hello to everybody? So we can see you. There you go. He used to play cricket and was in a league in Boston. Okay, so that's his fun fact. And then, if you haven't heard of Sophia Aguilar, you are missing out. Sophia, hey. So she loves to crochet, and she actually has an entire Instagram with her, and she also does like different stands and stuff too in California if you're out there. So if you want to buy something cute, she has like Christmas lights and all kinds of cute stuff. Check her out. And lastly, well, second to lastly, we have Megan Dewan. Where are you, Megan? There she is. Hey. She will be reading a piece from issue 3 home. So y'all get a little sneak peek of issue 3 home, and I'm so excited to hear her read this and to set the tone for the next issue. Yes. And lastly, we have I call her our spiritual practitioner just because I'm trying to be funny. I'm gonna come up with a better name for you, girl. But we have Amanda, and she will be doing our tarot card reading raffle at the end of this.
Yes.
Yes.
That works though. I like that name actually.
You like, okay, it sounds official, right?
It works for me. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for being
Do
here.
you want me to, yeah, do you want to share my fun fact?
Yes, okay, share your fun fact. Go ahead.
My fun fact is that when I was in high school, I won a writing contest, and the prize was that they would send me and 10 other students to South Africa to meet Nelson Mandela and volunteer with his foundation. So that's my fun fact. But funny story, I almost did not enter that contest because I didn't think I would win it. But I did last minute after procrastinating. So I won. I went there. I ended up meeting a legend, which was amazing. But that trip changed my life in more ways than one. Because one of the students that I met on that trip ended up becoming my best friend for the past 15 years. And he's also now the love of my life.
Yeah.
So we're planning to spend the rest of our lives together. But yeah, that trip really taught me, you never know where your creativity or your writing, can take you. And so you never know what's possible.
That's beautiful. And I love how it ends up connecting to the writing. Yes.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot is the lesson. Okay.
Yeah.
You might meet the love of your life. Excuse me. Okay. So at this time, we are all done with intros. If everybody has their drinks or a peace sign is fine. But I've got my little truly here. All right. Cheers to a wonderful night of creativity, connection, and community. Thank you all for being here. Cheers.
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 Yay. Thanks for the peace sign, Tasha. Amazing. All right. Well, without further ado, oh, go ahead, Anya. I see that bottle of wine. Ah, love it. All right, so we are going to get started with our first performance. So y'all get comfortable with your little drinky drink. And we're going to have Jane take the floor.
Good evening, morning, night, whatever it is for y'all. Right now, I am in Arizona. It is 5 p.m. So the sun is about to set soon as my brightness shifts. But thank you again for having me, Steph and KCB. And I'm excited to share this poem with you. I think I'm going to jump right into it and then explain it after this time. So the title of my piece is called Photosynthesis, the Art of Healing. It's been some time now since I've fallen. It's been some time since I found the strength to reach out, to get help, to take a leap and run away from the weight that constantly threatened to push me under. It's been some time, but not a lot. There are days when I am stuck, paralyzed in fear, in thought, in bed, in pain, in my body that has been beaten and bruised from decades of anticipation. Then there are days when the clouds clear, when the iridescent rays of the sun hit my face just right, and the warmth radiates deep within me, past the layer of skin that has not yet healed, past the cold that lingers, soothing aching muscles, resting at my core, so that I can bask in the present, so that I can relive and relish the steps that I took to feel the rays another day, to breathe in the fresh air that fills the corners of my mind with thoughts of now, not the past or the future, but learning to be in this exact moment, to take a chance and learn what it means to be me without you. All right. Had to let that sink in for a second. So photosynthesis the title itself came from the fact that this poem came kind of around the time when I was starting to reflect and recognize my own healing process, and found that just standing in the sun sometimes felt so filling and warming and nurturing and radiating. And I used to joke that I was a sunflower, saying that I needed to get my energy from the sun's rays. So that's how that play on the title kind of came in when I started writing this. But the poem itself was me processing a lot of trauma that I came before I moved to where I am now. I had been living in a very toxic situation that was both mentally, emotionally, and physically draining. And it got me to a point so low where I might have not taken another breath. And luckily, knowing that I had the support of others brought me a moment of clarity enough to call a friend and ask for help, and allowed me to be here today. And so after moving, after struggling for a good minute to find my independence and to find my own feet, I felt safe enough to heal and to start growing past that experience to when I started writing this poem and realizing that sometimes it's just about being in the present and taking that moment to take a breath, to enjoy the small things like the ray of sunshine that warms you, to realize that you are healing, right? Because it's not always visible and it's not always clear and apparent. So I hope you found some resonance or some at least enjoyment in listening to my poem. And I wish you all love and blessings.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jane. I love that explanation, but also I love to start with this piece because it is so, to me, renewing and grounding at the same time. So I'm like, that is the tone I want to set, right? Like we are starting anew. This is a fresh, new, clean slate, a new community of folks, new friends all here, right? So I love the feeling that at least it resonates with me, and hopefully it did with all of you. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have the lovely Megan Mary Moore. Woo!
Hello, thank you so much to KCB for having me here and including Moon Cola in this. Jane, that was a gorgeous poem and I felt it so deeply. It was beautiful. Now I'm gonna read a poem about masturbation to follow that up. So I'll give my explanation a little bit beforehand. So this was included in the editor section for Moon Cola Zine, issue 3, Hot Girl Summer Bummer. To me, when I think of summer, I think a lot about hookups. And during the summer in particular, I was hooking up with myself a lot. So that's where the theme took me. I'm going to talk about something called pink noise in this poem, and it's a lot like white noise. Like you can look up just streams of pink noise the same way you can with white noise. It will help you fall asleep. It's akin to the sound of waterfalls, and it's just this gorgeous sound. And I'm going to read this poem. It's very short, and then I'll talk a little bit more after I'm done. It's called Falling Asleep to the Sound of My Vibrator. Not white noise, it's pink. And pink noise isn't the plastic bang against linoleum that I thought it would be. It's a human hum, soft and naked, deeper than white and warmer. And it smells like steady rain on summer skin. I'm free, or be feral, slipping to the place where bubbles go when they pop. So, to me, I was really trying to embody the female orgasm and what I feel as a female when I orgasm, because when I watch things like porn and I watch a very performative orgasm, it always seemed very violent and very loud and performative and completely not what I feel when I go through that. So to me, it's important that I capture that in what little words I have to share, and hopefully female and male and non-binary can all relate to that a little bit. So thank you so much.
Beautiful. Yes. Thank you for sharing. I am obsessed with that line about the place that bubbles go when they pop. Like, and this time around hearing it, it felt like, you know, when people go like this to you and it's like ticklish, like it was giving me a little bit of that, you know, like I was getting a little bit, ooh, okay. So thank you. I'm loving these sensory poems already. All right. Awesome. Let me just make sure I'm following the schedule. All right. Next up, we have Neil Jaiko. Woo!
Hey, y'all. Thanks, Steph. Good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. My name's Neil Jaiko. So my poem, I'll explain a little bit in the beginning. Well, I'll explain everything in the beginning, and then I'll just read the poem. So it's called Prima Materia. So it's relating to, well, the title itself is relating to alchemy. That term pretty much means like the uh, base form of something that's going to be built. So the bare minimum, like the starting page, if you will. So in the poem, you'll see two opposing sides, and this came about when I moved from New York City to Texas, where I'm at right now. I'm currently still in Texas, living over here. Um, so a lot of challenges, because for those that haven't been in Texas, it is a different world out here. Texas pretty much thinks it's its own country. It operates like its own country, but it's cool for what it is. But yeah, there was a lot of differences that I experienced over here, and being alone, I was in solitude a lot, so I was able to reflect on a lot of things from the past to the present to the future. And then this is where this poem came about. So that was back in like September 2021. So much growth has happened since then, but this poem still resonates with me because I still feel those two sides conflicting. So that's pretty much the explanation of the poem. So now we get into it. So this is Prima Materia. It has happened once again. After the fireworks, after the melodies, after the running silk, after the sweetness, after the aroma, I am still here. Here can be anywhere, but it doesn't matter anymore. All that remains is stillness. Screams of dreams and hopes being decimated, unconscious sorcery, madmen roaming, realms generating, vessels rupturing. Exiled by others is hate, but banishing yourself is grief. What is grief, if not love fighting to remain? To always be in arm's reach is a cruel marathon. Shutting doors doesn't matter, protection simply drains the soul. Misconception is a blessing, distance makes us cold. How long can you last avoiding the very thing that can save you? But what if? What if there's another way? Why keep the darkness at bay? How can we grow without embracing both sides of the take? I am a captain because I am consumed while I'm awake. Shadows are generated through waves of light. So why not dig instead of create? Solitude is a tool, not a predicament. Head held high with grace. Not belonging to anything or anybody is a double-edged sword, but I prefer the hilt. Always in control, always in command, always leading the pack. It is I and I alone that got me like that. Shit is deja vu. Fighting myself in my own house, I must be on the loose. Fate longs for me, but my affairs with destiny leaves me satisfied. Leave me alone and trust that I won't be lonely. The cave will soon be a graveyard. Watch me walk comfortably. How long can you last, avoiding the very thing that can ruin you? Alas, the quest outdoes the response yet again. And there we go.
That was amazing. I think I've told you this. First of all, I always have a different opinion about this poem when I reread it, but it gives me like neither here nor there, like glitchy vibes in the best way. And I love the question, like the response outdoes the quest, or like I love the way, like the way I'm questioning myself when I'm reading it. So thank you for sharing that. You froze, so I don't know if you responded, but I'm gonna say you did. Okay. All right. Next up, we have Emily Joy Uman.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited to read this poem. So this poem I wrote for Moon Cola Zine, who I love, and the poem is about waiting for your STI results. In the theme of the tumultuous couple of years we've had with reproductive rights in the US, I wanted to write something in that vein. Inspires a lot of my poems. So this one I wrote um, to address stigma as well for STIs. So we'll get started. On my lunch break, waiting for my STI test results. I'm eating on the steps outside the hospital, and all I taste is black. People pass by, going about their lives, as I'm a still thunderstorm with a shadow of fear inside of me, slingshotting me back. My vagina is a ghost haunting me. How could this happen? I reach into my bag for a napkin, and a condom I forgot was in there smirks. So smug despite the fact it didn't protect me from this. I guess the fairy slut mother they always told me would come to girls like me has finally struck me with her wand that doubles as a dildo. Is this goodbye to my reign as a one-night stand goddess winking through the night? No. Call me a slut, skank, tramp, all rolled into one. I'll build a cathedral of horrors out of all this shame. I sit still and the phone rings. So very like stream of consciousness in the sense of the speaker of the poem, and yeah, that's it. And yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That was beautiful. First of all, you have a beautiful reading voice. It was like very patient. And it was also like the juxtaposition between your reading voice, but then also the harsh words like whores and double-edged sword, wand, dildo, right? But then this soft, patient voice, I really enjoyed. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
and
Mhm.
I have an Instagram I can put in the chat.
Yes.
Poetic underscore espresso. I love coffee. I'm on TikTok too. So you can find me there.
Perfect. Yes. And anybody else, if you want to plug your Instagrams, any of the other presenters. But all right. So next up, we have Nathaniel Vera. Woo!
So thank you, Steph. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to spend as little time as possible on the backstory, but the setting is Puerto Rico on Playa Hobos, one of my favorite beaches there. And the first poem is about my experience as a first time enter of the water and how it could be both beautiful and dangerous. I almost drowned the first time. And the second time, it was about rediscovery. Here's the first. Bliss is finding blue. Ocean floor of Playa Hobos, Isabela, Puerto Rico. Since I was a child, I always dreamed of you, yearned for you. For you were always comfortably underneath me, cooling my back, fluid lapping, lulling on your surface, present but in the background. Now I am here in front of you. I walk, then I plunge. I am underneath you now, and I am surrendered, my full body suspended, undulating, so small, cool but warm. Have you always been such a vast, spiraling canyon of no answers? Have you always been this many colors, so many shades of blue? So light and clear, fluorescent, iridescent, ever-changing in shades, blue and green and yellow, deep black, flowing fish families, dozens of Finding Nemo dory fish, starfish, crabs, eels, sea urchins, gliding rays of light across them all, across alabaster, cream coral, dunes of sand, home to so many, yet so few who show yourselves in comparison to those who do. I know you're all here. Have you always had so much sound? In my childhood dreams, I would see you, hear you, ask when I'd get to see you again, and over again, you hummed, caressed, glided, strolled across my body as I floated aimlessly, soaked in sun, and your soft, soothing touch. But I was in control, above you, at a distance. But here, now, awake, I'm a minuscule passerby beneath you, in your guest house. You are animals I've never seen, and their light spectrum defying colors. Fast and fleeting, every action impermanent, but beautiful. Directionless, but in all directions at once. Active, singing boldly, erupting in chaos. Steady, dispersing in calm melodies as quickly as the crescendos crashed. Laughing, stirring, engulfing, never at rest. And you just keep inviting me in. One moment, entranced, following a sea turtle at the rocky bottom, drawn in under the spell of your light symphony, swimming further, not even noticing that your undertow is pulling me out until I've gone too far. And my father and a strange man are waving, come back. And as I inch back to the shore, I am bargaining for breath, for every last glimpse, every last ripple through the bottom of your home. And now I know how reductively, how arrogantly I sought you, described you, felt you. You are no simple retreat or reprieve. You who could have whisked me away like another one of the infinite grains of flying sand and surfers, never to be seen again. And you who let me come back. You are ageless life, clear like glass, but untampered with, protected, protecting, tucked away in a corner of the earth, not waiting, but inviting. You are not mine, but how you share with me. You have made me shed ideas and desires, and gain release and fullness, tranquility and gratitude. So far from everything I've known. Now that I've seen you, found you, for what you truly are, I ask you, a place once a far-off recurring fantasy, and now a host allowing me into her embrace, her undeniably pulsing, breathing world. Have you always been so powerful, so endless, so blue? That's the first poem. And the second is When I Came Back. Bliss is finding me, you. Last time we met, I swam through you, blading, chopping, deep diving, navigating through your crystal currents, and let you sweep me off my feet and away, flirting with danger, swimming a bit too far astray. To be called, to be allowed back. Oh, blue, how much the same are you? Exactly as I remembered you, maybe even clearer, reflecting older, wearier eyes in your mirrors. You are our guest house. That, like my name, has stayed the same. This time, as I take the next plunge, your salt and accents roll much more smoothly off my tongue, lap my lips, and not challenge, but caress my fingertips. Your permanent residents, your family of the sea, are still here to greet new faces without fear. Some came back to remind me of their majesty, to greet me once again as a returning drifter of their ubiquitous guest list. Some have ventured out further and didn't look back, immune and inured to foreign attacks. Some have still yet to reveal themselves, wary, and I marvel in their tireless majesty, of their tireless mystery. What more for me, is left to see, tucked away in the docile corners of the untamed sea? I am no one but a blessed passerby, who, to stay with you, was willing to be dead. But through my eye, you, spirit, are everything, a gift to me. Su regalo pa mí, una experiencia pa mí, por usted. Bliss for me, since recurring inexplicable portents in dreams and childhood sleep of the effervescent, transparent turquoise sea, has been finding your purest, most unadulterated blue. But to find you, I have realized, my love, my goddess, in your fluid windows and soft revolving doors, in the middle of the world, first, requires shedding deflection, but instead bathing in your reflection, floating in the comfort of calm conversation, and otherwise sitting, surrendering, in the silence, the gratitude of silence and solitude. I have had to shatter, as if glass waves could crack and break, and back from being burnt to ashes, and for you, rise anew, to swim steadily through and for higher stakes. I've had to get lost, carried in the wind and current far away, and like a magnet attracts, find my way back to you. To finally understand your blue, more dazzling and brighter, more glistening and stronger than any dead weight or agony, I've had to seek my soul family, and through you, in you, I have had to find me. That's the second poem.
Those were beautiful. So hearing it this time around, I really got the sounds of the sea. You did a really good job. You said a line just now about glass waves crashing. Like just the picture of that, like I don't know if you've ever seen like those icicle seas, but that's what I'm picturing. So very sensory, very vivid. Thank you so much for not only writing the first one, but sharing the second one too. Thank you. All right, let's see who is up next. We have, all right, Mr. John Gray. You are
Okay,
up.
yes, I'm this poem I'm gonna read. It's a short one, and it's about the pleasures or otherwise of driving home by yourself late at night, being very tired, etc., etc. And it's called Long Night's Drive. Thinking of how much I want to sleep becomes a kind of sleep. Chilly wind breathing hard and fast through window crack is a willing enough dream. So are my headlights on the straight black road and the brief candles I make of tall pines. So this dream is of a man with his hair blown back. It's of a tongue, a tonsil wrapped around a radio song. The smell of oil is in it. So is the windshield dirt and insects that flare and die upon the glass. No Freud in the rearview mirror, in the lullaby dashboard lights. I rest my head on a pillow of speed, and dreams interpret themselves as a wish for being where I'm going. So that's the poem. And I'd like to give you a backstory on the poem, but obviously it's a reference to how much I kind of enjoy being by myself. And I think if you really want to be a creative person, spending time just by yourself, whether it's in a car or anywhere, is a good I don't know, education, inspiration, or a good creative tool. And I spend during my life I spent a lot of time thinking, and I still do that. But why I say that's the poem is sort of it should have a backstory, but the fact is I'm very prolific. I write about 8 poems a day. That's the standard myself, and I generally can keep it up. Now, I mean, I have like literally thousands of poems in my house, that unpublished ones and published ones. So, but that one is probably a little truer to me than a lot of the ones I write. I write horror poems. I write especially on any subject about it. So, that's my little story.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love the like picturing the tall pines blowing out like candles. Like the
Yeah.
way you play with like speed and movement and the small details, right? Like I'm plugging in the bugs on the rear view mirror, the smell of oil, like all these things coming to me. So very brilliant poem. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. After John, we have the lovely Sophia. Woo!
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me. I've loved, literally loved everyone's pieces so far. I feel like so lucky to be in this company. So today I'm going to be reading a flash fiction piece that also has like elements of poetry in it a little bit too. But basically this was a piece that was published in issue 5, I believe, of Moon Cola Zine. And the theme was what would Barbie do? And I was really drawn to that theme. Obviously now because of Barbie, but I think at the time, I wrote this about 2 years ago, and I think the theme really appealed to me because essentially it's not so much about Barbie as it is about girlhood and like the things, right, that we grow up with, like us girls and femmes and the cultural expectations. And so as I was thinking about this theme, I thought a lot about, yes, dolls, but also like about what it even means to grow up as a girl or as a femme, right? I think when I wrote this piece, I was actually thinking a lot about my own life because it's fictional, but I thought a lot about my own life in terms of how there was always like this cultural, not expectation, but almost like this allowance of like how a lot of girls and femmes were like encouraged almost to be not only emotionally intimate with other girls, but also physically. I don't know if anyone else can like relate to that, but I always was like, I would always remember like we would always hold hands with like my best friends who were girls, and we would always like skip and like hug, and it was always like such an emotional, like intimate moment. And then like I think something changed around like maybe preteen or teen, where like there was a switch of like if it becomes anything more than that, it was weird, it was alienated. Like I thought about a lot about Mean Girls when I wrote this piece of like this idea of like, you know, you can like being around girls, you can even be physically like close to them, but as soon as you like decide you romantically like girl, it's like it's weird. And you know, like that's kind of the whole like Janice arc of Mean Girls. And so I thought a lot about that as someone who, you know, I guess all of these thoughts were like, you know, this affected me as like a young queer person who didn't accept that she was queer yet because of all these things. And so to make a long story short, basically that's how I kind of came into this flash fiction piece. So without further ado, I'll get into it. It's called Sleepover. We're sleeping over in someone else's house for the first time. We trade the familiar fabric of our bed sheets for metal-backed cots, slippery camping bags borrowed from the garage and hit with the broom to beat the dust, layers of blankets, a carpeted piece of floor by Julie's bed. We're grown-up girls now. In her room, we silently envy everything she has, the full-size Tiger Beat posters, still bearing the folds and perforated edges, her new flip phone, her CD collection of our favorite bands, a line of Bath and Body sprays organized by color and name. In front of her vanity lit up by bulbs, we stare in the mirror and notice only the things we hate about ourselves. Too pimply, too oily, too tall, too short, too dark, too blonde. Who would ever want us? We will never be enough for anyone to love. We want so much we could shatter the mirror with a fist and not even flinch at the blood. But instead, we smear our lips with a sticky strawberry gloss until it burns with fake flavor and grabs at our hair and makes us hunger for our first kiss. We imagine leaving their skin to glisten as much as our own. We powder our faces with our favorite shades and wonder when our crush will want us back and whisper their name to our reflection like a game of Bloody Mary. This would look so good on you, Julie says, not listening, holding up one of her scoop neck tops from her closet against our chest. She offers to comb our hair with her brush, old locks still stuck in the teeth, and braid it into a fishtail. We try not to think about our mothers. During a game of Truth or Dare, we prank call a randomly dialed number, confess a secret, steal Julie's brother's clothes until he comes in, towering and wet-haired and red-faced, and scream each time. This is the most alive we've ever been. We try to forget about the dolls hidden and gathering bunnies under our own beds. The American Girls, the Barbies, the Polly Pockets, the rubbery plastic jelly skirts with bits of rug and hair and blouses we could rip away with a soft hug at the Velcro. How we could make them strip and make love to each other before we even knew what sex or sapphic meant. At dinner time, Julie's mom orders a pizza and several hip-necked bottles of Coke and returns with a sealed popcorn bag and a movie from the video rental store. We jostle for room and somehow find ourselves next to Julie on the couch, the coveted spot, and meet her smooth, creamy skin with the bumps goose pimpling on her own. Every time a joke is made, she leans over to giggle in my ear or lust after the love interest or smooth our baby hairs down, using her saliva as a girl-made gel. When popcorn salt sticks to our lip gloss leftovers, she rubs it carefully with a finger. When we turn our mouths red and blue from Fun Dip and bottle pop, she laughs and teases, touching tongues. Everything is prickling. Everything smells like fruit, mist sprays of perfume, a flavor of toothpaste we don't recognize because we forgot ours at home and she lent us her tube. In the bathroom, we take a chapstick of hers from a drawer and pocket without her knowing. And later, sandwiched between goose down, we dream of hams. We pray the morning never comes and that our mothers forget to pick us up. We wish for a girlhood we never got. We whisper Julie's name into the darkness and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and hope this time she hears it. Thank you.
That was so beautiful. Oh my God. Like I'm sitting here emotional thinking about nostalgia, like baby hairs and the Bath and Body Works perfectly lined up. Like so many small things where I'm just like girlhood. Like it just screams girlhood to me. And it's so true to my experience. I'm sure other people can relate. So thank you for sharing. That was amazing. All right. Next up, we have the Megan DeWan, and she will be reading a piece from issue 3, Home.
Was totally not prepared for this right now. Hi.
Sorry, wait, do you need a minute?
Oh, no, you're good. I'm just like, I'm trying to comment and then also like be a human at the same time. I don't know how to do both, but we're
Thank you. I appreciate that though.
Of course. Hi. Yeah, so my name is Megan. I am a writer, poet, wannabe voice actress. I do a lot of bits. And I really resonated with this theme because I talk about nostalgia and home a lot. So this is something that I've always low-key wanted to write about. So this is like the perfect opportunity for it. So I will get into it. I don't have a title for it yet, but hope you enjoy. The groundwork for substantial growth. Many nights of vegetables cooked weirdly, where I greet my younger one in the early mornings on the bottom bunk. As we make our way down the stairs to say hello to the glowing box where cartoons and Wii games beat with life, the heart of the DVD box warm with hours of love, appreciation, and strained eyes. Finding solace in the place by the back of the door where the snow falls, buses halted as school indicates. Oh my gosh. Hello, where was I? I totally forgot. Okay. Finding solace in the space by the back door where the snow falls, buses halted as school calls to indicate closure for the day. Spring rolls around. It's safe to go outside, hearing the hums from the plugged-in heater no more as a new life begins. Shedding the skin of the previous year as the air of new friends and silly conversations take place as the destination to the undisclosed derailment of my mental state that I would not see coming yet. Dark nights on the patio, mommy drinking sips of her tequila-laced drink, using her own phrasing as a weapon of conversation against daddy, more strategic in the dance of detest. I play with my fork against the pieces of oversteamed broccoli, my father taking a swig of his third glass of bourbon, inquiring why I haven't finished my plate. Daddy goes on a business trip, and I long for his return. Mommy holds me tight to her chest. I feel the bed sheets, loose from sleep, tangled between my ankle, as if to pull me as the anchor into the endless sea, between both of them. She tells me he will be back. My instinct is to run into his closet from the stack of thousands he had from mowing his lawn, wrap it around the top half of my body and lay back into the bed, this time on his side, hoping that the white t-shirt would feel like he is there in the room with me, lulling me into the false sense of security that is a sleeping sandwich between him and my mother. I hope that they always sleep in the same bed together. So that's all I have right now. I got carried away and I wrote like 4 more pages of this.
Oh, she's got a story.
Yeah, so it's thank you. Yeah, no, it's supposed to start from the beginning of my childhood. So this is from the perspective of when I'm about maybe 6 years old. There were a lot of things that I noticed that I do, like there were a lot of things here that I notice now as a like almost fully functioning adult that I didn't notice back then. Because obviously when you're 6, you don't have the mental capacity to understand what you did. So these are not things that I realized were bad. And now that I look back, I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting how I played sort of the middle ground. My sister and I played like the divider between our parents. Hence why like the ending bit where I say I hope they sleep in the same bed together. So hence my sister and I being the sleeping sandwich, if that makes sense.
That is so sweet. What I really appreciate, so you got it on the nose. The essence of home, like I felt it. I felt one thing about home, other than like your parents, right? Like the mommy and daddy, and like ending it on that is like the everydayness of it, right? Like it's every day. It's every day you got to wake up. Every day you got to brush your teeth. Every day you got to go to work. You know what I mean? And so like the dad drinking bourbon, was it like those moments of like just everydayness I really, really enjoyed, and I think others will too. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yay. All right. So that wraps up our performances for the night, but we are not done yet. We've still got a raffle for y'all. First of all, before I do that though, I want to open the floor. Does anybody have anything they want to say? I know the chat's been going off. Anything you want to say to one of the presenters or anything like that, feel free. Like it's a party, feel free. Okay, we a little shy. It's okay. It's okay. But okay.
Wow. Oh, it's Adrian. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Adrian.
I just wanted to say thanks for everyone sharing this evening. I heard so much amazing work, and thank you so much for putting this on
Yeah.
to KCB and Moon Cola. I think we can all give some props because this is very well, the logistics and everything were so smooth. Like
Oh,
we got
thank
lucky
you.
tonight,
Oh,
folks.
that's
It
so
was
nice.
awesome.
Not me freaking out all day about it. They're like asking me to do
No.
a Google sheet at work, and I'm like, I can't think about that.
It's always the anxiety is always worse, right? And everything goes so beautifully.
And then I'm
So I
sitting here
just
having a
appreciate it.
blast. Yep.
Yes, it's such
So
a great time. So thank y'all so much.
yes, thank you for being here. We love having you here. I've been watching your facial expressions. You've been so into it. So thank you.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm watching HBO.
Yes. I'll take it. Listen. All right, awesome. So without further ado, and look at that, on time. We might finish right on time. I'm gonna pass it over to our spiritual practitioner, Miss Amanda Baker. She's gonna explain the raffle prize a little bit. And then Megan, who has just read, she is going to do the raffle. So anybody who is sitting here right now will be entered except for me. All right, so Marjorie, if you can just let me know your husband's name so we can add him to the raffle.
This is Jose.
Jose. Okay. So we have Jose Vera and Marjorie Vera. Okay, perfect. We'll make sure to get both those names in there. But all right, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to pass it over to Amanda.
Hey guys, this has been really lovely, really inspiring. So yeah, thank you all so much. You guys have the opportunity to win a 3-card spread tarot reading with me. So we have a few options for that. You can opt to have a past present, future reading done, which is pretty self-explanatory. Get a glimpse into the past, see where you are in the present, and get an idea of anything that needs to be clarified for the future. We also have the option of the mind, body, and spirit spread, which will give you insight into where you are mentally, physically, what you might need, and what you might need spiritually as well. On top of that, we've got know, grow, and let go. So what do you need to know in the present moment? What ways can you grow in the future? And what might you need to let go of in order to, stay on your rightful path? And then last but not least, we have goal, pros, and cons. So if you have any goals that you might want clarity on, we can go over that and ask the cards, and then you can see what the pros are of moving forward with that and what the cons might be. So you have the option to choose what you'd like to know when we do our reading.
Thank you for explaining that. And can I just say, so I've done a reading with Amanda before. Y'all, I almost cried. Like cards were spilling out and she was like, oh, that means something. I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, it is such an experience. Like, you can hear her, you see her essence, her vibe. She is an amazing person. So whoever wins this is going to be so lucky.
I'm excited for this.
All right, Megan, are you ready? Or
I'm ready.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to share your screen or how do you want to do it?
I will share my screen. This might be easier. I haven't done this in like forever. I feel so out of practice.
Yeah, I haven't used Zoom in so long because I use Microsoft Teams and stuff now.
Yeah. So apparently I cannot. Apparently the host disabled participant screen sharing. So I don't have access to do that. So
okay, here we go. I just gave you access. See if that works.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Yay.
Amazing. Can everyone see this? Ignore my background.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thank you. It's Paulina from Danny Phantom. Okay, so hopefully this is everyone. I'm gonna click now and hopefully we'll see who the winner is. Let's do a drum roll. Oh my gosh. Oh. Can it load? I don't know. Leo is the winner. Congratulations.
Leo, you won. Go ahead, Leo Kudiak.
Oh, I see the disappointment. I'm sorry, Marjorie. I can see how excited you are.
They know Leo though, so maybe y'all can ask him for the prize. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for running that, Megan. That was exciting. I love this little website. All right. And look at that. We've got 2 more minutes. So finish your drinks. I'm going to play a little music and y'all can, exit as you please. But seriously, thank you for being here. Like, this is my dream come true. I'm going to go downstairs and have a drink and celebrate. Okay. Like in this hotel room that I'm in right now. So I'm so happy that
you've got some stuff going on in the chat.
Oh, aw.
I love this.
I love this.
Also, if anyone wants to plug their social media or anything that they're working on, please do so. I'm sure like everyone can benefit from seeing everybody's work, plus also networking. So if anyone wants to, please feel free. I don't bite much, so I won't say anything.
She said, unless you like
please
it.
go ahead.
Yes. All right, awesome. Yep. So drop your Instagrams in the chat. I'm going to play a little song and y'all just party the night away. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it endlessly.
Thank you, guys.